Hello Glenpool, welcome to the October edition of Glenpool at a Glance. This is our monthly video series where we talk about what is happening here in Glenpool. So before we kind of get into the meat of this video, I want to give a shout out to our Glenpool Chamber of Commerce and all of the volunteers that came out and helped make Black Gold Days an amazing success this year. Everybody I've talked to since the event has talked about how great it was, whether that's the public that came out or the vendors that were there. And so we're so excited to always have them here and help them out with what's going on in Black Gold Park. If you didn't make it this year, put it on your calendar now to make it next year. It is a great event. The other thing I want to touch on really quickly is if you watched last month's video, we talked a little bit about the appointment process that the council was going through. If you'll remember, Vice Mayor Brandon Kearns has stepped down and he's taken a new position, so is moving on from us here in Glenpool. We wish him well. But that meant there's an opening on the council. And the way the law works is that they go through and they appoint, and then that person ends up running, or whomever wants to run at the next election cycle. For us, that is February is the filing period for that. And so the council met, interviewed candidates, selected Shane Buchanan to be the next council person. So congratulations to Shane. He is no stranger to the city, has been on council in the past, and was currently serving as part of our planning commission. So again, congratulations to Shane for being selected to serve on the city council. Also in the same meeting, the council selected Jackie Lund as the new vice mayor. So congratulations to Jackie and her new role with the council. If you see either of these individuals out in the community, say congratulations to them and let them know what's going on and what you'd like to see happen as we continue to look forward and work on our strategic plan for the next few years. So back a few months ago, as our new budget cycle went in, I promised a video about the upcoming capital projects that were in this year's budget and what we were working on. So today I wanted to get into a little bit of that with this video series and talk about some of the major projects that's happening around the city that the city is working on. The first one is one we've talked about a lot. That's our sewer plant. It is currently out for bid. Design has been completed. We should know what those price tags are and what the bid looks like here probably in late November or December. And then hopefully we are able to award those dollars either December or in January, which means we'll start construction sometime in early 2025 on the new plant. We're excited to get that moving forward. It's a piece that's needed for our long-term growth here and needed today to help fix some of the problems that we have at the plant. The other piece is it seems like this year is going to be the year of stormwater for us in Glenpool. We've got a lot of stormwater projects. As you know, if you live in certain parts of this city, there's a lot of stormwater that sometimes will congregate. One of the biggest ones for us is rolling meadows. It's been a problem for a while that the water comes and rolls down the streets and ponds on Vancouver and creates a pretty significant ponding there on the roadway, partially blocking that roadway at times. So design is now getting ready to start. We have a contract that we're moving forward with that council will be asking council to approve. So all of these projects take some design to make sure we can fix them. They're not simple fixes. That's why they've become problems over the years. It's not something that we could just go out and move some dirt around and solve the problem. And so in this case, we're going through a design element. What does that look like? And so for you, all of you in Rolling Meadows, this will be moving forward and getting that design process started. We're happy to get that moving. The other big one that we've seen, if you've driven by the school and you know what's going on there, is that 146th and Fern or Warrior Road. There's always some water issues through there, and as it drains across the land, then crosses through the roadway, we want to try to get that fixed. So we'll be hopefully starting some engineering design on it later this year, as well as at Hickory Place, there's some stormwater issues. So all of those are moving forward into the design phase. We hope to have contracts on the others later this fiscal year. The other big piece that I want to talk about now is switching over to some road and sidewalks. Elwood widening, there is a contract for engineering design and the environmental assessments that have to happen to do improvements on the roadway. That is going to council this month. And so we hope to see that contract. That will be with, actually it's a grant award through Oklahoma Department of Transportation. So they will fund 75% of the design process. The city will pay 25%. This is one of those Move Glenpool Forward projects that we've got on the list we're excited to get moving forward with. So it will still be a little bit of a longer process. Once we get the grant with the state, then we have to go through and select bidders and engineering firms, all of that kind of stuff. But a couple extra hoops to jump through because of the grant dollars, but it's exciting to be able to get that kind of money through the state so it's not expended from our budget. The other two are some sidewalk construction projects that we hope to get started soon. Again, with ODOT funding. So this would be to finalize some of the sidewalk layouts or improve the sidewalk as needed between the South County Rec Center and the school. So we're going to move all the way from 141st to just north of 141st in Peoria, up and then to the school. And as you know the area, you'll realize some of those are already in and in place. And so we'll be able to connect to existing sidewalks. But the goal is to be able to get kids from the school to the community center and back and forth safely on sidewalks instead of having to go onto the road in places. The other piece is we hope to finish up engineering design and get that process finalized for sidewalks in the downtown area. So again, as we can move from the school over to Black Gold Park or back to 141st on that side. So the goal is, how do we continue to find ways to move people safely throughout the city when they want to walk and get out and without having to get up onto the roadways. So all of those projects are ongoing this year. Not all of them will start construction this year. Some of them are just design, engineering design, but we are moving forward with all of these different projects. There are a couple of others that are normal for us in our capital budget, but I want to touch on them. One of them is new police cars. We try to rotate through new police cars every year so that we're buying some each year, so there's not such a big hit to 1 year in the budget. And so we've got 5 new police cars coming this fiscal year. We've also had, the council approved last year, and so those trucks are still out, but there are 2 new fire trucks, or 2 of our current fire trucks, are being refurbished. So that for us is not just a quick once over like you would see when you take your car in for a tune-up. This is a complete rebuild of the fire truck. And so it's almost a new truck when we get it back. But it is cheaper than buying new vehicles for us. So we've got 2 of our current engines out to be refurbished. That is a long process. It takes about a year per truck to get that process through. So we hope to see those back this year. And that's why you see it back in the budget, even though it was approved last year. We should see those trucks, or at least the first of those trucks, back this fiscal year. The other piece is we're working to upgrade our dispatch consoles. As we continue, new technology comes out. We need to make sure we are able to safely dispatch officers and receive calls from the public, so we know where you are in 911 improvements. Then we also have some new mowers that we're buying around the city, as well as different vehicles for our utility department. So you'll be able to see all of those there on the screen as we talk about it, and you can see what those expenditures are in this year's budget. All of this has been pulled directly from this year's budget. Before we close out, just a couple of quick comments. The community events that are coming up, just make sure you get this on your calendar. The Black Gold Car Show, which is sponsored by the Glenpool Optimists Club. Thank you, Optimists, for your work there for this. This is an amazing show if you haven't been out. It is set for October 19th for this month, so get that on your calendar. Go see what the cars are. They've always got some amazing cars out there being shown off that morning. Another great community event that we have coming up that I want to make sure you get on your calendars is our Glenpool Spooktacular. So this event, if you remember in years past, has been held here at the conference center. We've had local vendors set up and giving out candy all around the oval out here and around the pond. But we also have had a second event in years past that the 141st Street merchants have come in and done something there along 141. So this year we are excited. We are combining those into one mega spooktacular event. And so we are moving it to Black Gold Park. And we'll be working there in the park with the 141st Street merchants, as well as all the other vendors that we normally would have as part of this event here at the conference center. And so based on what I'm hearing on the planning, you are going to be excited for what they're doing out there that night. And so come out, mark your calendars, October 27th. And be watching on our social media accounts and other places. We'll be announcing details as they get finalized. But this is going to be an amazing event, kind of a mega event for us as we combine these 2 great events that we've had in the past into one single huge event. So we're excited about that. Come out and join us. Hey, Glenpool, that is it for this month's edition of Glenpool at a Glance. We will see you next month.